Alright, this is another print that I've started. I do print all the time. I print probably at least, I don't know, 10 times a day, basically. I have clients, and basically I have to have prints that succeed virtually every time. And so I had to come up with a means that allows me to confidently set up a print, start the print, finish the print, and start the next print. And what I've done is said, okay, how can I eliminate other ways of doing it that seem to take too much time, too much effort, is not reliable enough for me. So I had to come up with a means to be able to start a print, let it finish, and then remove it, and then start another one within minutes, okay? So the problem that I found read about in most users is tramming, leveling the bed. So there's one way that I do it that's reliable, it's repeatable, it's so easy, it takes less than, I don't know, maybe a minute, less than a minute, 30 seconds to 45 seconds to tram the bed. Even if you have some electronic gizmo here to help you do that, I don't think you can actually get the full, complete tramming done using that in less than 20 seconds. And know that it's going to work. So if you master the paper feeler gauge, this is a known way to tram the bed, to use a feeler gauge. It's a piece of paper to be sure that the distance between the nozzle's tip and the print surface distance is measured with a piece of paper. That's simple. It's like a 6-inch by 2-inch piece of paper. You don't have to buy a feeler gauge. You don't have to reach in there and fight around. You don't have to scratch up the nozzle, you know, with a metal feeler gauge. Use paper, all right, because it works. Another thing, if you tram the bed properly, level, tram, they mean the same thing, but they're a kind of a different function. They will lead to the same thing. Leveling is just level the bed. Tramming is distance. So with the paper, you're actually doing both. You're leveling it in 4 corners, and you're tramming it by distance with the thickness of the piece of paper. That's the purpose. So if you start with a known to be flat surface, you know that the surface here is flat from corner to corner, front to back, side to side. You know it's flat. Then logically, why would you even use an electronic gizmo to check that? Why would you check all the spots, all the places? All that time is wasted, because if you tram the bed in 4 places on a flat surface, know that it's flat, then you're done. You can start printing within that 20 seconds. So you can finish the print and start the next one right away. Don't depend on some electronic gizmo. Again, if your skill in tramming is borderline, if your surface is not flat, you know, there are highs and lows, you're heating the bed, you're creating a warped bed, then of course the electronic gizmo is probably needed. I wanted to avoid that. So by doing it this way, I can also not heat the bed. Right here. Set point is 0. I don't heat the bed. I've never, ever needed to heat the bed. And that was the purpose. That was the purpose of doing all of this, not doing this, so that I could actually start the print and finish the print and start the next print within a minute. Okay? Also, that's plastic extruder. It's still on the machine. It's still reliable. It still works. The body of the extruder, this one right here, has no reason to switch out. If this little arm right here, this lever, has an issue, it's like $3, 5 minutes, take out that little screw, replace the arm, and you're back to printing. The replacement arm would be brand new, in the package, would have never been installed ever on any printer in its life. So it's going to be as reliable as any part of this printer is. So if your arm is cracked, it's probably because it's been under stress in the box for a fair amount of time. Buy a new arm, replace it, and then start printing. Begin printing. You don't have to worry about G-code adjustments, gear changes, stepper motors, or whatever else problems that have to come up because of the metal extruder. This one will never have those problems. It literally is designed for this printer. So keep the body, change the arm, keep printing. Simple as that. ABC. All right. The other thing, load the filament. Get it through the extruder, okay, down the Bowden tube, and to the hot end. Those are the three places of a 3D printer that's basic. No changes here, no changes here, no changes here. If you assemble it straight out of the box, as it was designed, just as you see it here, including the springs, it has to work. I mean, it's kind of like it's in the box. Just build it properly, assemble and set it up properly, get yourself a flat surface that's known to be flat. There's no highs and no lows to compensate for any kind of electronic gizmo. It's like I'm not dismissing it. I just don't need it. In this particular way, I don't need it. So if you feel that you're forced to have to use this, then come up with a better bed. Come up with a bed that's flat, known to be flat. Then the sensing part of this is not needed. The time used, the time wasted setting this up every time you want to tram the bed is time wasted. Okay? So you can master the tramming skills. You got to do it anyway. If you master it on a flat surface known to be flat, then start printing. Within minutes. You don't have to do a test G-code, lines and circles and squares and all this to test that your bed is leveled. Trust your skills with the paper feeler gauge. Get a flat surface that's known to be flat and start printing within a minute, easily. Because if you have to test your skills by printing lines and circles and squares, you have to take all that crap off the bed in order to print. So just by taking that stuff off to clear the space to get the print started, you're going to disrupt your tramming. Because these are the tramming wheels. These wheels can easily be pushed aside or be adjusted improperly just by removing stuff from the bed. God, it's just keep it simple, keeps it printing. That's it. So anyway, I've got another about 40 minutes left on this print. It's going great. Again, no raft, no brim, no messy glue sticks to smear on or clean off. I tram it on the tape. I have to take into account the thickness of the tape, which is logical. I don't tram it out here. It's not trammed out here because it's not printing out here. But the table is flat all the way around, all the way across. So there's no highs or lows that need to be compensated for. I don't heat the bed, okay? So I'm not heating because I'm forced to, because it helps us support adhesion. Okay, maybe you do, maybe you have to. Okay, great. I'm just showing what I do that works every time. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not saying one thing is bad or worse than others. I'm just saying this works for me. If you want to avoid all that time wasted, energy wasting, heating the bed, changing the extruder to a metal one, whatever you want to do, if you're happy with that, go for it. I'm happy with the way this printer's set up, and it's been successful for 3,500 STL files printed successfully. It's almost too easy, right? Happy printing.